You know what? I used to be a hot-tempered person. There were days when just a careless word, an unfriendly glance, or even a motorbike cutting me off could make me explode like a volcano, only to leave me drowning in regret for the harsh words and actions that followed. I hurt my loved ones, ruined precious relationships, and worst of all, I lost my own inner peace. But then one day, it hit me, anger isn't the enemy, it's a signal. It's an alarm bell warning me that something is wrong, that I'm feeling hurt, wronged, or powerless. The question isn't whether I have the right to be angry, but how I handle it. After years of wrestling with rage, I've learned 3 powerful ways to control it, not by suppressing it, but by understanding and transforming it. If you, too, are exhausted by sudden outbursts, let me share these 3 secrets with you. 1. The art of pause and breathe, when 10 seconds can change everything. I still remember the day I almost lost a close friend over a tiny misunderstanding. He accidentally dropped my favorite coffee mug, and I instantly snapped at him with words that left him stunned. He walked away, and we didn't speak for months. Later, it dawned on me, if only I'd paused for just 10 seconds. Science shows that anger triggers a chemical storm in our bodies. Adrenaline and cortisol flood our system, our heart races, muscles tense, and the rational part of our brain shuts down. In that state, we act on impulse, not reason. But here's the miracle, just 10 seconds of pausing and deep breathing can calm that storm. I started practicing this habit whenever anger flared. If someone annoyed me, instead of reacting, I'd silently count to 10, inhaling deeply through my nose and exhaling slowly through my mouth. In that brief pause, I'd ask myself, is this really worth my anger? Or am I overreacting? One technique I use is 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural brake, slowing your heart rate and restoring balance. Gradually, I realized most things that angered me weren't worth the explosion. Some were misunderstandings, some stemmed from exhaustion, and some just didn't matter. 10 seconds, that's all it takes to save a relationship, avoid a bad decision, and change your perspective. 2. Write it down, then tear it up, releasing anger without hurting anyone. During a stressful period at work, I was constantly irritable, pressured by my boss, frustrated with colleagues, and burdened by my own high expectations. One day, after a heated argument, I went home, grabbed paper, and scribbled down every raw feeling. I wrote without filtering, even venting curses I'd never say aloud. When I reread it, I laughed. The messy, negative words suddenly seemed absurd. I tore the paper to shreds, crumpled them, and tossed them away. Strangely, the weight in my chest vanished with those scraps. Since then, whenever anger strikes, I write. I write about what angers me, the fears beneath it, even secrets I'd never share. Then I destroy it, like releasing the negativity. Science calls this therapeutic writing. By translating emotions into words, you shift processing from the primal amygdala to the logical prefrontal cortex. This helps you see things objectively while healthily releasing pent-up energy. You don't need to be a writer. Just grab paper and a pen, and be brutally honest. Try writing an unsent letter to whoever angered you, or simply journal your feelings. Then tear it up or hide it. You'll be amazed by the relief. 3. Shift your perspective. Understanding dissolves anger. One of my hardest lessons about anger. Every outburst stems from how you view the situation. I used to rage when a friend was chronically late. I assumed he disrespected me, until I learned he was caring for his sick mother. Instantly, my anger turned to empathy. That's when I realized, most anger comes from misunderstanding others' struggles. We assume malice but forget everyone fights hidden battles. Now, when anger rises, I ask, could I be misreading their intent? Might they be dealing with something I can't see? If I were in their shoes, would I act differently? These questions don't just curb anger, they foster compassion. Behind every frustrating action is often an untold story. Final thought, anger is a teacher. Over the years, I've learned anger isn't an enemy to destroy, but a strict teacher. It reveals my limits, fears, and what truly matters. These 3 methods aren't about silencing anger, they're about decoding its message. Remember, you always have a choice: let anger control you, or use it to grow. Have you tried these techniques? Or do you have your own way to manage anger? Share with me, because mastering emotions is a journey we don't have to walk alone.